When you think of a good map, what comes to your mind? For me, it's a map with a lack of environmental hazards, like spikes or ledges. A map with very little verticality, not allowing for easy plunge kills. A map that focuses, well, on combat. Having a wide entrance to a zone also goes a long way. So, with all of that, what are the worst maps? I will be ranking the maps from 5 to 1, with 5 being as pleasant as talking to that one awkward family member that you basically never see, that you're pretty sure is racist, but you just can't tell for sure. And with the number 1 being equivalent to getting a cactus shoved up your... So here is my tier list on the top 5 worst maps. Starting off with something completely atrocious. Desert Storm. To say that the devs were on the blue candy while making this would be an understatement. I don't know what amount of nose cleaner makes you create something like this, but the result just isn't good. This map basically boils down to the following. A lot of vertical access, from roofs to windows, overlooking the entire map. So no matter where you are, you just know someone is already lining up the shot on you. Traversing this map while in the open, even for a split second, is just an easy way to get your head blown off. I mean, just count how many windows are run past in these few seconds of gameplay. What makes the issue even worse though is that the entire middle part of the map is overlooked by every goddamn vantage point in the map. Meaning, if you innocently stumble into the middle of the map, you will see more sniper lenses flare up than you see actual flares go up during New Year's. It just seems like they designed the entire map except the middle part and then thought to themselves, wait a minute, I'm pretty sure we forgot something. And then they just plop this pathetic excuse of flank in the middle of the map. Fighting mostly just boils down to CQB inside buildings or getting shit on by somebody who you didn't even know existed from across the map. With how easily your opponent can get the advantage over you because of the frankly ridiculous amount of flanks that are possible. Having a genuine 1v1 gunfight is basically impossible, so no aim duels on this map. So, all in all, this failure of a map gets its well-deserved 5th place in my list. I'm pretty sure number 4 will get some hate, but it just has to be said. Fuck Turbine. With just how good the maps in Black Ops 2 all are.
That's what I'm talking about! That's why he's the MVP! That's why he's the GOAT! The GOAT!
You can't tell me that this is the one map that stuck with you. Yes, Turbine has a very Call of Duty-esque design, with 3 main routes leading to the opposite side of the map. Generally, this would be great, allowing for free movement across the entire map on 3 lanes. But that sadly is only the case if all of the 3 ways are created equal, which in this case they absolutely aren't. The right and the left side of the map have a significant elevation advantage, making spotting anyone brave or, to be honest, stupid enough to use the middle row a easy pick. The turbine in the middle was an attempt to create some meaningful cover, so you wouldn't expose your delicate cheeks. But with players just waiting like vultures to pick you off, it just simply isn't enough. When you and your opponent are both on the middle lane though, you can have some seriously interesting firefights. With just how quickly you can reposition not only horizontally but also vertically, it is a blast to fight here. But that fun is short-lived, because the second you drop your opponent, somebody who has 2 pixels of the character model exposed picks you off from downtown. And don't get me started on this awkward building. Standalone, this map is not that bad. Compared to all the other absolute bangers this game offers, Turbine is just mid as fuck. And therefore deserves its place in the 4th spot.
End their lives.
So, to absolutely nobody's surprise, number 3 on my worst maps tier list is Eerie of Crows. Like, what were they even thinking? If the point was to show that this game is not survivor-sided, then
you done fucked it up!
Where to even start with this one? The sidelines on this map are so damn long that you can see the killer running towards you from a mile away. I swear I see the killer during the little camera spin you get during spawn, like every other match on that map.
Just let it happen.
Why did I spawn next to her?
Hello friends, this is Uts. 9 out of 10 doctors agree at least.
This is such a big issue that it actually feels like you can see the killer loading while he hasn't even started queuing yet. Just that alone is already bad enough, but no, the shit doesn't stop there. It somehow also manages to be the safest map in the entire game. Everywhere you go, everywhere you look, it's just pallet after jungle gym, after pallet after jungle gym, after pallet after... Oh look, it's Jack. You can chain into so many different loops that it just feels like you can never catch up to survivors, even when played optimally by the killer. Most, if not all, mistakes the survivors make are immediately counted out by the pallet density of this map. Even with most pallets gone, this map still allows for some insane vault chaining. God help those poor souls that don't have a proper chase power on this map. The main building is also a pain in the ass, with multiple vault locations spawning there, and the most holy of all god pellets there. With how bad it is, I wouldn't even wish my worst enemy to be forced to get looped there. The hook spread of this map is possibly the only saving grace, with hooks spawning in the middle of the map and near key areas. You will be able to cut down a few valuable seconds during your matches. But when facing off against the map that saves you seconds and buys the survivors minutes, the odds just aren't looking good. Your only way to somewhat consistently win on this map is by letting the first few generators fall and either generating enough momentum to snowball the game out of control, or by hooking survivors in key areas, which allow you to traverse the map while still keeping an eye on them. Due to the already mentioned massive sidelines on this map and the safe nature of it, playing this map as a killer just feels disgusting. So, with its absolutely abysmal design, this map lands on the number 3 spot of my tier list.
It's supposed to be a fucking RPG. What role am I playing? The fucking victim? Jesus fucking Christ!
My number 2 spot was logical from the start. The second you clicked on this video, you could already tell what it was going to be. So, let's just say it together. Let's just get it out. A Lighthouse. Of course it's Lighthouse. Of course it's Lighthouse! What is there to say about this map that isn't bad? Terrible spawns, terrible loot, terrible layout, terrible quests, and even worse PvP. The gimmick of this map is the water filtration camp. A place where AI enemies with somewhat good loot protect important quest locations and loot spots. Sadly, putting AI and Tarkov into the same dimension, yet alone into the same sentence, is a recipe for disaster. These absolute units will be able to lock onto you from the tiniest pixel being exposed and laser you across the entire map. And that's if you get lucky. If your luck runs out, well, they will unleash the wrath of 1,000 suns upon you by mounting their goddamn 40mm grenade launcher turrets and crack the sky open with grenades just to drop you. For reference, this is where I'm getting shot from. These guys are so damn stupid. They walk into walls, they don't take cover, don't dodge nades, can't counter pixel peeking, but the second they see a trace of your wet fart across the map for one frame, you are donezo. They just immediately turn into John Wick and take you out, no questions asked. These guys will absolutely, with no hesitations, turn your insides out and then just forget that you ever existed. It seems like that when determining their hit rate, the devs just forgot to factor in distance. Like, they drop you from across the entire map and then just turn away. Like they didn't just set a new Guinness World Record for the longest recorded slaughter of a man. Since almost everything revolves around the water treatment plant, most of the action will be there. Getting there though is also ass. That's because some absolute maniac rigged the entire surrounding area with explosives for no goddamn reason. Wherever I go, wherever I look.
Everywhere I looked, all these fucking pricks.
It is just ridiculous. And if all of that wasn't bad enough, the way towards the water plant is also absolute ass. With the spawns being the way they are, there is a pretty high chance you will die in the first 30 seconds of your raid. So, have fun re-equipping your entire kit again and sitting in the queue for 20 minutes. All of this just boils down to everyone hard pushing the right side. It's just a glorified gangbang at that point. Absolutely goddamn atrocious. And well deserving of the second spot on my tier list.
Don't care. Don't care. Still don't care. I don't care.
And last, but certainly least, the worst map I had the misfortune of playing is goddamn Sentinel. Words can't even express how much I hate this goddamn map. So, hear me out. We will make a game solely based about hand-to-hand combat. Then, we will make heroes with solely melee-based attacks and give them medieval weaponry. Add a guard system and parry system to make the game more challenging and rewarding. And then make a map that allows you to play Call of Duty half of the time.
What the
Is this peak medieval combat? The map is also absolutely massive. Just because of the stupidly placed ledges and even more stupidly placed ballistas, you will die. The jog back into action feels like an eternity.
A thrill with darkness and silence through the night. What a thrill. I'm searching and I'm melting.
Like, why? Just remove the ballistas and add ziplines from point A to point C. Oh yeah, and add hyper armor while using ziplines? Like, getting sniped by a Kuna is just absolute BS. Imagine this map always turns into a glorified 2v2 because nobody wants to cross the middle part. So people just keep staying on the zones, waiting for something to happen. Sometimes, when all of the stars align, all 4 players of a team will go into one zone, and all players from the other team will go in a different zone. So the game just becomes a competition on who has more hours and aim laps. So yeah, this absolutely deserves the #1 spot on my worst map tier list. Since talking about these maps caused actual agony, please consider subscribing. 1 sub equals 1 Senkai for iBoy. Oh yeah, and before I forget, watch yourselves out there, okay?